everyone. So a few of you have asked me to do some videos on policy, so here goes. I'm going to talk about public transport and why the Opportunity Party wants to make it free for everyone. If you can't be bothered to watch till the end, that's totally fine. I'll give you the headline straight away. It's cheaper. It saves money. That may sound crazy, but it's absolutely true, and I'll explain how in this video. Obviously, at the moment, fuel prices are pretty high, and as a result of that, some countries, some states, some cities around the world are making public transport free. And some people, like this guy who's a lecturer in public policy at the University of Auckland, think that's a good thing. So do some other people, like this guy. But I've actually thought it's a good thing for quite a while, and here's why. Public transport is expensive. Paying for the buses, the bus stops, the drivers' wages, the fuel, even though lots of our buses are moving to electric right now, all of that still costs money. And it's paid through a mixture of taxes and rates. So if you live rurally and you don't have access to public transport, you are still paying for it through your taxes. But if you live in somewhere like Auckland or Wellington and have lots of public transport options, you're paying a bit more because you're paying through your rates as well as your taxes. So let's put that $3 to $4 billion into perspective. The roads of national significance that this government are proposing to build is expected to cost around $50 billion. Even though the National Infrastructure Plan, which was put together by the New Zealand Infrastructure Commission, which is an independent body, said it makes no sense and is unaffordable. That report also said that prioritising maintenance of our existing assets is a more cost-effective solution than new high-cost highway construction. And we know for a fact from studies around the world and lots of evidence that building more roads just creates more demand for roads. But what's also true is that investing in more public transport creates more demand for public transport. And that $50 billion would allow us to make the fares free for over 160 years. Except it wouldn't. It's way more than that. And here's why. The government are currently planning to spend over $1 billion on a new payment card system, something called Motu Move. And that's proposed to replace the current AT Hop card in Auckland, the Snapper card in Wellington, the Metro card in Christchurch, and the B card here in Dunedin. Well, you may think, let's not do that and we'd save over $1 billion, but you wouldn't, because keeping those current systems is expected to cost around $0.8 billion over the same time period. Because all of that infrastructure to collect those fares costs money. The readers for us to tag on and tag off, the payment systems, the banking costs, the financial administration in the background, all the IT systems, all of that costs money. Things to allow you to top up your card, people to deal with when your card doesn't work anymore, the staff that patrol the buses and the trains to make sure you have a ticket, the different ticketing options for over 65s, under 12s, tertiary students, all of that costs money. And if you scrap all of that, you save money. But that's not all. A recent report has shown that the cost to the economy of social exclusion is over $3 billion. And that's people who can't afford to take a bus to go to a job interview or a medical appointment or a social event. And what's more, research from the Public Transport Association of Australia and New Zealand has shown that for every $1 million invested in public transport, 30 new jobs are created. The productivity costs in somewhere like Auckland, just Auckland, is over $2.6 billion a year from people sat in traffic. And if we can get just 10% of those people out of their cars and onto the public transport, we'll save loads. Then there's the health costs. It's over $1 billion a year from air pollution related to transport. And like I said earlier, most of our buses are now moving to electric buses, so you save there too. You've also got injuries. you are 9 times more likely to be injured in an accident in a car than you are in a bus. And you may think that's because there are more cars than buses, but that's not how the study works. It's per hour drive. So for every hour you spend in a car, you are 9 times more likely to be injured in an accident than for every hour spent on a bus. And that costs money too. So here's the thing, nothing is free. Public transport does cost money, 3 to 4 billion. We know that. So we're already paying $9, let's say, and we're only getting a small slice of pizza. For just a little more, for $10, we could get the whole pizza, because fares are only 10% or slightly less of the total cost. But that's on day one. Those savings that I just talked about, from public health, from productivity, they soon start adding up. And pretty soon, while that pizza slice still costs $9, the whole pizza starts to cost $8. It's cheaper if it's free. So to recap, making public transport free boosts the economy, boosts productivity, boosts social cohesion, and it saves money, saves the environment, and saves lives. Now I know some people will still not be convinced, and they'll say, what about just making it free for some people? But only by scrapping the fares completely do you get the full savings. Moving to 100% just aligns with the reality and maximises our return on investment. It's not a handout to poor people, it is the smartest, most efficient way to use the asset. What about people who don't use the bus? And I'll tell you what, I don't use the bus. I don't live on a bus route, my journey to work is not covered by a bus. But that's okay, I still benefit. Reduced congestion, better parking, they benefit me. There's fewer cars on the road, it's easier for me to find a space. And it also saves money. It saves money on road wear and tear and the cost of maintaining those roads. It's the most efficient use of our existing transport assets, the roads and the vehicles we already own and pay for. And by the way, it will make you happy. Studies have shown that people who commute to work on public transport are happier than people who commute to work in a private vehicle. So if you want to be happy, you want to get behind this policy. And if you're thinking, this sounds great, why aren't more people doing it? Well, they are. Public transport is completely free in countries like Luxembourg, Malta and Estonia already and has been for years. It's also free in cities and towns in places all around the world. And wherever it's been introduced, it's not been reversed. Public transport is a public service. Like our roads, our footpaths or our libraries, its value comes from use, not exclusion. Opportunity supports universal free public transport as a practical, future-focused policy for all New Zealand. It's not left-wing, it's not right-wing, it's just good sense. Free public transport. Let's make it happen.